When a user enters data into a form, you might open another form that could use that data. For example, you could enter a customer's ID and want to write it into another form's customer ID field. Closing the previous form would make it difficult to find the data, so you need to make the previous form invisible instead of closing it. In this movie, I'll show you how to use the MeObjects visible property to make forms visible or invisible. And I should note that making a form invisible doesn't close it. The data is still available for use. For this movie, we will use the products form, so I'll right-click that and then open it in Design View. To create a code module, let's right-click anywhere in the form and then click Build Event. Then in the Choose Builder dialog box, click Code Builder and then click OK. Doing so creates an event code module for when the details section of the form is clicked. I want to use a different event, so I'll go up to the object list, which is just below the title bar, click the object down arrow, and click Form. And the form load event is created automatically by default. That is the one I want to use, so I'll press Enter twice, and the up arrow wants to give myself a little bit of room to work. Now my goal here isn't to do anything incredibly complicated. All I want to do is prove the concept by turning the form invisible, setting visible to false, showing a message box indicating that it has happened, and then making the form visible again. So the code for that is me.visible, V-I-S-I-B-L-E, space, then an equal sign, and false. So in other words, visibility is false, we are making it invisible. Then press Enter. Now a message box saying that just happened, message box, space, then a quote, and the form is still open, comma, just invisible, period, and then double quotes. Press Enter, and then we'll turn the visible property back to true. So me.visible, V-I-S-I-B-L-E, space equal, and then true, and press Tab. I'll press Ctrl-S to save my work, Alt F11 to go back to the main database window, and then I'll press Ctrl-W to close the products form. Now I'm going to double-click the products form, and it opened and then was turned invisible more quickly than we could see on screen. But the message box appears, the form is still open, just invisible. Now if I click OK, the form opens as normal. Making a form invisible so you can remove it from the screen, but still use its data is a valuable technique. I'm sure that you will find many uses for it as you work in Access.